The achievements of the Italian tank industry were overshadowed by the successes of foreign powers during most of the 20th century. Italian tanks, created by engineers at FIAT at the end of World War I, never entered large-scale production. And even though in World War II, the Royal Italian Army relied on their own M13 and M14 tanks, they weren't as impressive as their foreign counterparts due to a lack of resources and limited production capabilities of the Italian tank industry. Some designs, like the P-40 tank, certainly had potential. But in the end, as we all know, Italy was on the losing side of the war, and after World War II, for quite some time, was in no position to make new combat vehicles. Due to a number of reasons, right up to the 1980s, the Italian military relied on American patterns and M60s, as well as German Leopards. By the way, there was an interesting connection there. The joint tank development program known as Europanzer, where the Leopard originated from, didn't involve just Germany and France. Italy was a part of it as well. In the end, it didn't work out because parties involved failed to find common ground. But, unlike Germany or France, Italy decided not to pour resources into their own design and just purchased 720 Leopards. Otto Melara even built them under license. It is worth noting that engineers of the company were also responsible for the effort to modernize various tanks that Italy had in its inventory. For instance, they made a variation of the M47, equipped with an Italian 105mm gun. During the middle of the 1970s, Otto Melara joined forces with Fiat to design the OF40 MBT. The designation of the vehicle came from the initials of the two companies, and 40 referred to the planned mass of the tank. In this joint venture, Fiat was responsible for providing automotive components, while Otto Melara developed the hull. The tank had to be light and fast, just like the Leopard, but armed with a new 105mm gun made by Otto Melara. The vehicle shared a lot of its DNA with the German MBT, something that became evident even after passing inspection of the tank's turret. Furthermore, the Italian MBT used the advanced fire control system developed by Officine Galileo, with a laser rangefinder and a ballistic computer. Ultimately, the OF40 wasn't really employed in Italy as an MBT, but it proved to be very useful as the basis for new vehicles. For example, it was used to develop the automatic self-propelled air defense system. Now that's not to say that the OF40 wasn't appreciated at all. For instance, the design caught the interest of Saudi Arabia. The kingdom bought 18 original OF40 tanks, and then proceeded to purchase 18 Mark IIA variants, featuring main gun stabilization and an improved fire control system. Also, as the Saudis weren't exactly happy with the tank's mobility, engineers proposed a new variation equipped with a 1,000 horsepower Fiat MTCA engine, but it never progressed any further than a single upgraded vehicle. During the 1980s, it became clear that it was time to replace the Leopards and the M60. In other words, Italy needed a new generation MBT. Fortunately, the country was ready for it. Otto Melara stepped up to supply the turret and fire control system, while the engine and the chassis were produced by Iveco Fiat. The first prototypes were ready in 1988, and soon one of them was accepted into production. The new tank was named Ariete in honor of the famous Italian armored division. It featured a powerful engine and composite armor, making it a sort of an Italian Leopard 2, armed with an original 120mm smoothbore gun. As befits a proper modern tank, the Ariete was also equipped with an advanced fire control system, with a digital fire control computer, a gun fully stabilized by an electro-hydraulic drive, and with thermal sights. As the Cold War was nearing its end, only 200 of those tanks were made. The XXth made its combat debut during the Operation Antica Babylonia in Iraq, where it became clear that it needed better protection to survive engagements in urban environments. An upgrade that came in the form of the PSO armor, a side armor package meant to protect the vehicle from heat munitions like AT grenades. There were no major upgrades made to the tank after that, and that's why the XXth is sometimes considered obsolete. But bear in mind that it is still proudly used by Italy in international military training drills. Furthermore, there are plans to upgrade the tank to a higher standard and get rid of one of its major weak points by outfitting it with a new ERA package. Even though Italian MBTs are still often overlooked, they had their baptism of fire during peacekeeping operations and proved their worth in military training drills. Do you enjoy using them? What models are you interested in? Please tell us in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.